In a world where disrespect can feel ever-present, Stoicism offers a powerful tool: the practice of cultivating contentment. Contentment, in the Stoic sense, is not about ignoring or dismissing the challenges we face, but about finding a sense of inner peace and fulfillment that transcends external events. It's about recognizing that our worth and happiness are not dependent on the opinions or actions of others, but on our own virtues and values. When faced with disrespect, cultivating contentment can be a beacon of light. Instead of letting external events dictate our emotional state, we can choose to anchor ourselves in a place of inner peace and acceptance. This doesn't mean denying our feelings or pretending everything is fine. It means acknowledging the reality of the situation while also recognizing that our peace of mind is ultimately within our control. So, how do we cultivate contentment in the face of disrespect? It starts with gratitude. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we shift our perspective from scarcity to abundance. Even in challenging situations, there are always things to be grateful for, whether it's our strength, our resilience, or the support of loved ones. Another key practice is acceptance. Stoicism teaches us to accept the things we cannot change, including the actions and opinions of others. When we release our resistance to reality and embrace it with open arms, we free ourselves from the burden of trying to control what is beyond our control. Lastly, cultivating contentment involves aligning our actions with our values. When we act in accordance with our deepest principles, we reinforce our sense of self-worth and integrity. This doesn't mean being perfect or never making mistakes, but it does mean striving to live in a way that reflects our highest ideals. In embracing the practice of cultivating contentment, we empower ourselves to weather the storms of disrespect with grace and strength. We become a steady presence in the face of adversity, a beacon of light in the darkness. By nurturing our inner peace and contentment, we not only transform how we experience life, but also inspire those around us to do the same. So, embrace this practice, nurture it, and watch as it transforms your responses, your relationships, and your life. Number 10. Responding with grace and dignity. Responding with grace and dignity to disrespect is one of the highest manifestations of Stoic principles in action. It's not about suppressing your emotions or pretending not to be affected. It's about choosing to respond with wisdom, poise, and integrity, even in the face of provocation. When someone disrespects you, your immediate impulse might be to react defensively or aggressively. But Stoicism invites us to pause, take a deep breath, and consider our response carefully. By responding with grace and dignity, we elevate the interaction from a clash of egos to a moment of moral clarity and strength. So, how do we cultivate this response in the face of disrespect? It begins with self-awareness. By understanding our own triggers and vulnerabilities, we can better prepare ourselves to respond with grace rather than react with anger or defensiveness. This self-awareness allows us to choose our words and actions consciously, rather than being driven by our impulses. Another key practice is empathy. When we approach the situation with compassion and understanding, we not only diffuse the tension but also create space for a more respectful and constructive dialogue. By putting ourselves in the other person's shoes, we can see beyond their actions to the pain or insecurity that may be driving them. Furthermore, responding with grace and dignity involves setting and maintaining boundaries. It's about communicating clearly and assertively what is and is not acceptable behavior, while also respecting the humanity and dignity of the other person. It's a delicate balance between standing up for yourself and showing kindness and understanding. Lastly, responding with grace and dignity requires a commitment to your own self-care. It's about recognizing when a situation is toxic or harmful and choosing to remove yourself from it, rather than engaging in a futile battle of egos. By prioritizing your own well-being and peace of mind, you not only protect yourself, but also set an example for others to follow. In embodying the practice of responding with grace and dignity, we become a pillar of strength and virtue in a world often marked by conflict and disrespect. We show that it is possible to stand firm in our values and principles, while also extending empathy and understanding to those around us. So, embrace this practice, cultivate it, and watch as it transforms not only how you navigate challenges, but also how you inspire and uplift those around you. Choosing to remain content when faced with disrespect is a strong and empowering decision. It involves recognizing the disrespect, understanding its impact on your inner peace is only as strong as you allow it to be, and making the choice to stay composed and calm. It doesn't mean dismissing or downplaying the disrespect, but rather opting not to let it disrupt your inner calm. So, how can we develop contentment? It begins by acknowledging that our happiness and inner peace come from within, not from external circumstances or the opinions of others. This fundamental Stoic belief emphasizes that our reactions to events are what cause us distress, not the events themselves. Once you fully embrace this philosophy, you start to view disrespect and other challenges as opportunities to practice maintaining your inner calm. Another key aspect is focusing on what you can control and releasing what you cannot. You may not be able to control others' behavior or words, but you can control how you respond. By ensuring your reactions align with your values and self-respect, you nurture contentment by living with integrity. Practicing gratitude is also crucial for cultivating contentment. By focusing on the positives in your life and showing appreciation for what you have, you shift your focus away from negativity towards the abundance of goodness around you. Reflect regularly to reconnect with your core self and remind yourself of your worth and values. While disrespect can shake your sense of self, when you firmly understand your intrinsic value, external opinions lose their power over you. Changing your perspective is the final lesson that leads us into a transformative Stoic practice. By reframing disrespect as indifference, things that do not fundamentally affect our well-being in Stoic philosophy, we empower ourselves to navigate disrespect without disturbing our inner peace. To adopt this perspective, we must first understand what indifference means in Stoicism. These are external things or events that provoke immediate emotional reactions, but do not impact our moral character or ability to live a virtuous life. By viewing disrespect through this lens, we realize that it does not have to disrupt our inner peace or diminish our happiness. To practically shift our perspective, especially when disrespect feels personal, we must consciously evaluate our automatic responses. While we might react with hurt, anger, or resentment, reminding ourselves of what truly matters, our character, actions, and responses, can help us focus on internal steadiness rather than external provocation. Understanding the role of perception in our emotional reactions is also crucial. Stoicism teaches us that it is not events themselves that upset us, but our interpretations of them. By questioning our perceptions and why we give so much power to others' words or actions, we can lessen their impact. Regular reflection and meditation can further strengthen our ability to detach from external judgments and disturbances. Visualizing scenarios where we might face disrespect and mentally rehearsing a Stoic response can also prepare us to handle real-life situations more effectively. It is important to note that changing our perspective is not about suppressing emotions or denying that disrespect hurts. Instead, it is about acknowledging and then releasing those feelings, understanding that they do not define our true selves or our potential for contentment. As we come to the end of our exploration of these Stoic lessons, I urge you to continue pondering them, incorporating them into your daily routine, and delving deeper into the extensive and profound tradition of Stoic philosophy. Share your journey with others, as teaching is a way for us to continue learning and evolving. Remember that your advancements demonstrate your resilience and dedication to leading a contemplative moral life. Feel free to extend this journey by viewing one of the recommended videos on the screen. Your involvement and eagerness to engage with the profound wisdom of Stoicism are what distinguish our Stoic Journal community. Continuing to explore, question, and grow together, your presence in the Stoic Journal is greatly appreciated.